Good morning. Welcome to Unacademy, India's largest e-learning platform. My name is Samrat Sir. So, last class time we discussion start करथिले DPSP, Directive Principle of the State Policy पर, and this is the second session on DPSPs. So, before discussing today's topic, I am glad to announce one important announcement related to your OCS preparation. Recently, OCS has released vacancies. OPSC has released vacancy for OCS 2020 exam, and approximately 392, more than 390 vacancies are there. You can, those who are serious candidates, they may take this opportunity as a golden one to crack the exam. So for that purpose, recently Unacademy has come up with a solution. A 90 days batch course has been published. You can enroll to that batch course. That will be specific or exclusive for Odisha Civil Service Examination prelims time. Use the referral code EGOS to get 10% subscription discount upon your subscription amount. Other explanations it has been given in the description box. You can go through it. So let's discuss. Last time we DPSP discussion करूँ and DPSP रे कुछ important provision पर्यंत हम discuss करूँ up to article 40 पर्यंत discuss करूँ. So brief में दे दूँ तो recap दे दूँ कि those who are new to this session so that they can understand the entire concept of directive principles. Article 36, this is, it resembles Article 12 of the Indian Constitution and it provides the definition of the state. Article 37. Article 37 discusses about the enforceability of the DPSPs. It means that DPSPs are not enforceable in any court of law like your fundamental rights. But these principles should be kept in mind when the rule, policies, schemes or laws are formulated by the state. So basically the state should keep in mind about the instructions which has been given to it by the Constitution of India while formulating any laws. Then Article 38 of the Indian Constitution, it discusses about the state shall strive to promote the welfare of the people by securing and protecting as effectively as it may a social order in which justice, social, economic and political shall inform all the institutions of national life. So basically this section of Article 38, it discusses about providing justice, social, economic and political justice. Then the second clause, it discusses about minimizing the inequalities, basically inequality in terms of income, status and opportunities, because I discussed inequalities are threats to democracy. Then Article 39, men and women, they should equally have the opportunity or right to an adequate means of livelihood. They should have. The ownership and control of the material resource of the community are so distributed as best to serve the common good. Then it doesn't result in the concentration of the wealth. So ये wealth concentration को minimize करूँगा, बा prohibit करूँगा. Then equal pay for the equal work. यहाँ पर discussion भी हम करूँगा. The health and strength of the worker, men and women, and the tender age of the children, they should not be abused. Then the children should be given the opportunity and facility to develop in a healthy manner and in conditions of freedom and dignity, and childhood and youth are protected against exploitation and as well as against moral and material abandonment. ये सब ऊपर हमें खाली डिस्कशन करिथिले. Then 40 ऊपर भी डिस्कस करिथिले कि ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑफ द विलेज पंचायत. So let's resume the discussion from Article 41 itself, जो माने Article 40 पर्यंत 36, 37, 38, 39 and 40 यार explanation देखिबा को चाहूछंती. They may go through the last session DPSP 1. ये session को आपण Unacademy OPSC channel में पाई पाइले. Yesterday I discussed comprehensively about these 4 articles. So let's continue from today's topic of discussion, that is Article 41 of the Indian Constitution. It discusses about right to work, to education and to public assistance in certain cases. ये कहूँ कि the state shall within the limits of its economic capacity and development make effective provision for securing the rights to work, education, to public assistance in case of unemployment, old age, sickness and disablement, and in other cases of undeserved want. ये को सिचुएशन ने डेवलपमेंट बा एजुकेशन प्रोवाइड करिया पई कुछ राइट टू वर्क प्रोवाइड करिया पई कुछ राइट टू वर्क व्हेन देयर इज अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट जो परिस्थिति रे अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट कंडीशन अछि एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम दिस शुड बी द प्राइमरी रिस्पांसिबिलिटी ऑफ द स्टेट टू प्रोवाइड एम्प्लॉयमेंट देन जो समय एजुकेशन लिटरेसी रेट रे कमी अछि देन लिटरेसी रेट को इंक्रीज करबा थ्रू वेरियस प्रोग्राम्स थ्रू वेरियस स्कीम्स will be the responsibility of the government again. It means whenever the government or HRD ministry, Human Resource Development Ministry, whenever it formulates any laws, then its primary objective should be to promote literacy rate or to increase the literacy rate. Then, in case of sickness and disablement, those एमानको हम स्थल अनएम्पावर्ड बोली कहबा दे शुड बी एम्पावर्ड एमानको एम्पावरमेंट प्रोवाइड करबार आवश्यकता अछि एंड दैट शुड बी द रेस्पोंसिबिलिटी ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट देन आर्टिकल 42 दिस प्रोविजन इज रिलेटेड फॉर जस्ट एंड ह्यूमन कंडीशन ऑफ द वर्क एंड मैटरनिटी रिलीफ 42 it is related provision for just human condition of work and maternity relief basically ये गोटे socialistic principle माने the principles which reflect the ideology of socialism ऊपर हम पूर्व डिस्कशन करछन so basically they are interested to establish a democratic socialist state that is India and they are interested or their basic objective is to provide social and economic justice along with a welfare state so to provide different provisions for the just and human condition of work and maternity relief, it is the responsibility of the state again. It also discusses about the state shall make provision for securing just and human condition to work and for maternity relief. The just condition माने होची कि जोटा injust condition नहीं नथिबो बा injustice provide करा जाउ नथिबो. There should be justice and there should be a good condition for work. एमाने काम करिया पय गोटे भलो कंडीशन प्रोवाइड करबा दरकार मैटरनिटी रिलीफ बेसिकली मैटरनिटी रिलीफ इट इज देयर टू एम्पावर द प्रेग्नेंट वुमन एमाने कर एम्पावरमेंट पय मैटरनिटी रिलीफ को यूज करा जाय आर्टिकल 43 लिविंग वेजेस एटसेट्रा फॉर द वर्कर्स ये कहू कि द स्टेट शैल एंडेवर टू सिक्योर by suitable legislation or economic organization or any other way to all workers कोको वर्कर को ये इंक्लूड करू ना एग्रीकल्चरल वर्कर इंडस्ट्रियल वर्कर or workers of any other form to work in a living wage condition of work ensuring a decent standard of life and full enjoyment of leisure social and cultural opportunity तो ये बेसिकली social and cultural opportunity ऊपर डिस्कस करू छी when social and cultural opportunities are required when the standard of life needs to be developed along with the workers they should be given with sufficient time for leisure because leisure is simply a human rights we can say Deepak is asking sir ASO vacancy केबे आसीबो Deepak ASO vacancy बहुत जल्दी आसीबो for sure so OPSC तो ऑलरेडी नोटिफिकेशन बर्तन गोटे पर गोटे देई चली रिसेंटली OCS पाई नोटिफिकेशन आसी सरची ओडिशा सिविल सर्विस एग्जाम पाई नोटिफिकेशन आसी सरची एंड यू कैन एक्सपेक्ट असिस्टेंट सेक्शन ऑफिसर एग्जाम नोटिफिकेशन ऑफ दिस एग्जाम वेरी सून बहुत जल्दी यू कैन एक्सपेक्ट एंड आई थिंक यू माइट बी नोइंग कि ASO एग्जाम इट इज गोइंग टू बी कंडक्टेड फॉर टू डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस द फर्स्ट इज फॉर योर सेक्रेटेरिएट एंड द सेकंड वन इज फॉर हाई कोर्ट तो ये दीटा पाई नोटिफिकेशन आसीबो से हिसाब रे कंटीन्यूअसली पढ़ा पढ़ी करो so don't wait up to the notification when it will come rather you start the preparation and complete the syllabus coming back to the discussion on 43 article 43 so ये कुछ कि leisure time provide करियो for and as well as social and cultural opportunities provide करियो basically it will be the function of the state to provide all those things. Along with it shall endeavour to promote cottage industries on an individual or cooperative basis in the rural area. Cottage industry rural area provide the reason kono basically cottage industry it is considered to be the backbone of the rural economy in India. Rural economy development हवा पाई cottage industry देखो तो प्रायतः cottage industry basically technology से दरकार है, that is labor intensive. तो लेबर माने जते भल भाव रे इंटेंसिव माने इंटेंसिवली काम करि परिबे तो इट रेम्युनरेशन बा प्रॉफिट आमे कहबा कि बढ़ बढ़ चलिबो एंड से लेबर मानकर गोटे यूनिट रहया पई वी कैन फॉर्म सम कोऑपरेटिव्स. यदि कोऑपरेटिव प्रोवाइड करा जाए एंड से माने मिसी की काम करते देन डेफिनेटली ये हेल्पफुल होबो एज वेल एज रूरल इकोनॉमी स्ट्रेंथन होबो. ये कारण पई आर्टिकल 43 प्रमोट करूची रूरल इकोनॉमी को स्ट्रेंथन करिया पे. देन 43 क्लॉज ए इट इज रिलेटेड टू participation of workers in management of industries. The state shall take steps by suitable legislation or in any other way to secure the participation of workers in the management of undertakings, establishment or other organizations engaged in any industry. You can go see that the state shall take steps by suitable legislation. It is legislation through or by some other way. This will be the primary responsibility of the state to take any type of to take any type of step for the development of or for the to provide security for the participation of workers in the management of undertakings, establishments or other organizations engaged in any industry. तो ये थी बेसिकली वर्कर मानकर बा इंडस्ट्रियल वर्कर मानकर पार्टिसिपेशन चाहूची. वेयर डज इट वांट द पार्टिसिपेशन ऑफ इंडस्ट्रियल वर्कर्स इन द इंडस्ट्रीज बेसिकली इन द मैनेजमेंट प्रोसेस रे मानकर इन्वॉल्वमेंट रहबा दरकार. इट विल फोस्टर पार्टिसिपेटरी डेमोक्रेसी because when the industrial workers they will involve in each and every decision taken by the management or they will share their contribution, they will contribute for the development of the industry, then definitely it will not only be the development of the industry, rather it will also be the development of the farmers as well. Next is the article 44. Article 44 is related to uniform civil code for all the citizens. So uniform civil code पहले हम एटी कौन बोलते UCC uniform civil code देखो in general यदि law देखिए इंडिया रे ये दीटा टाइप रहता है गोटे criminal laws and civil laws. Criminal laws तो समस्त बुझी पारथिबे and the laws which are not criminal basically ये law को टाइप रहतांती related to marriage, inheritance, succession. ये law मान को हम civil law बोली कहू. And in India the civil laws are not uniform. Uniform नोहति माने that is different for different religions. हिंदू माना को पाई civil code different, Hindu civil code, Muslim माना को पाई different, Christian माना को पाई it is completely different. But criminal law is same throughout India or it is uniform. So जने murder करूची Hindu, Muslim, Christian, irrespective of the religion, the person will be prosecuted under section 302 of the Indian Penal Code. But यदि हमें marriage divorce related act देखिबा, it is completely different. यदि मैं कहबी polygamy ऊपर, then the definition of polygamy is different for Hindus and it is different for Muslims. So because their particular laws, civil laws, they are derived from the custom. ସେମାନେ ନିଜ ନିଜ religion, tradition and custom ରୁ derive ହେଇଥାନ୍ତି. जेहेतु we have a diversified country and we belong to different cultures and we have different cultures, ये कारण मानक ପାଇଁ civil code uniform नुहे इंडिया रे. But article 44 uniform civil code for all the citizens आनिया कहूची. ए पर्यंत uniform civil code को हमें establish करि परि नाही. Then article 45, the most important article, provision for free and compulsory education for the children. ये जो मानकर एज कहूची कि up to within a period of 10 years from the commencement of this constitution, for free and compulsory education should be provided to the children and up to the age of 14 year पर्यंत एमानकु free and compulsory education provide करा जाय दरकार. And 21st constitutional amendment act या पर मु पूर्व पढैतिली 21st constitutional amendment act जोथरे हमें देखिथिले सॉरी आर्टिकल 21A of the Indian constitution जोथरे हमें देखिथिले पूर्व कि right to education it was made a fundamental right. ये वर्तमान गोटे fundamental right. 46 so देखो right to education ऊपर ताले 45 रे भी डिस्कस होची 21A रे भी डिस्कस होची. Article 46 promotion of educational and economic interest of the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and other weaker sections. He कहूची कि the state shall promote with special care the educational and economic interest of the weaker section of the people, and in particular of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, and shall protect them from social injustice and from all the forms of exploitation. ये basically those who are voiceless or those who are unempowered एमानंको empowerment provide करिया पई कहूची. So it social justice provide करिया पई ये section कहूची बा ये article कहूची. Basically को मानकर ना those who are unempowered section of the society, scheduled caste and scheduled tribe एमानंको in the society from any form of exploitation they should be completely protected and prohibited by the state. Then Article 48 of the Indian Constitution, it discusses about organization of agriculture and animal husbandry. Why to talk about agriculture and animal husbandry? They belong to the primary sector, and I am जानते कि 54% of the Indian population they are involved in the primary sector, whereas they contribute only 16 to 17% to the gross domestic product. That is why agriculture and animal husbandry that is important for us. And या व्यतीत जदि हम देखिबा पूर्व में डिस्कस करि सारछि कि जस्ट आफ्टर इंडिपेंडेंस इंडिया हैड अ वेरी नेगेटिव इमेज थ्रू आउट द वर्ल्ड, दैट इज द इमेज ऑफ बेगिंग बाउल इमेज थिला इंडिया रा. ये सब कारण पाए इंडिया स्टार्टेड producing more quantity of the food grains, and nowadays India is completely a self-reliant economy in terms of food grain, as well as it is a net exporter of the food grains to the foreign countries. So agriculture and animal husbandry याकू develop करिवार आवश्यकता रही, particularly in the rural zone, plus prohibiting the slaughter of the cows, calves, and the milk and the drought cattle. Cattle are different breed मानकर preservation plus मानकर cow slaughter को prohibit करिया पाई Article 48 discuss करूँ. So next is Article 48A. So protection and improvement of environment and safeguarding of the forest and wildlife. It is to environment and wildlife, they are natural resource of a country and they belong to or they are found in a particular region. I mean, got a particular region में got a particular type of wildlife वा forest पाई था. So 48A discuss करूँची ये सब को protect करिया पाए, to provide protection to all those. Article 49, protection of the monuments and places and objects of national importance. Protection of monument and places and object of national importance. ये पूछी कि national importance जो object रही ये सब को हमको preserve करिया ପାଇଁ पड़िबो. National importance को region को जिनस था जेमति किछि monuments हम कोइ कि ताजमहल, Red Fort, Gateway of India ये सब रा importance national level ले रही छी. So एमानकर destruction in any way, that disfigurement or spoliation, that should not be done, or the government should come up with such policies, rules and regulations which will protect these monuments. Then Article 50 of the Indian Constitution, which separates the judiciary from the executive. यहाँ पर हमें detailed discussion करी सारी जल्दी judiciary रे कि judiciary in India it is completely integrated as well as independent. It has no relationship with legislature or with executive. So Article 50 is related to separation of judiciary from the executive. ये question directly UPSC 2019 last year 20 रे आस्ते ये question prelim exam रे. So judiciary is separated from executive. It has been mentioned in which article or in which section. So you have to remember in DPSP is part 4 and in the Article 50 of the Indian Constitution. Then Article 51 of the Indian Constitution, promotion of international peace and security. So Article 51 basically fosters the concern of Indians towards the entire globe or towards the entire world. The reason behind this is in the objective resolution itself. If you are going through the objective resolution moved by Pandit Nehru, you will be finding there is a term called international peace and prosperity. So India always tries to be the global leader along with eradication of poverty, providing or ensuring rights of the human being, or talking about the human rights. It always advocates about human rights throughout the globe. Against terrorism, India will strive for peace, but it will never opt for terrorism. ये सबूर discussion India माने throughout the globe, India global leader हुआ पे चाहूँ and international peace and security ऊपर discuss करते. It doesn't mean कि we formulated the constitution, we got our independence. Doesn't mean कि Indians are selfish and they are thinking only about their state or about protecting the rights of their people only. Rather, Indians they are thinking about the rights of the entire world. So basically, that should be the primary responsibility of the state to promote international peace and security, to maintain just and honorable relation between different nations, to foster respect for the international law, and to encourage settlement of international dispute by arbitration. Arbitration होची गोटे थर्ड लोक द्वारा बा थर्ड मीडिएटर द्वारा कौन से डिस्प्यूट को सॉल्व करबा, इंटरनेशनल डिस्प्यूट को थर्ड मीडिएटर द्वारा सॉल्व करियो तो आर्बिट्रेशन बोली कहा जाए. Then the classification देखिबा, classification of the DPSPs, basically they are classified into three types. Socialist trick रे मु कहतली कि their ideology of they believe in the ideology of socialism. Then Gandhian principle, basically they are derived from the Gandhian ideology. So socialistic principle जदि हम देखिबा, then article 38, 39, 39A, 41, 42, 43A, 43 and 47 they are socialistic. Gandhian जदि देखिबा, then 40, 43, 43B, 47, 46, 48 they are Gandhian. The third form is the liberal intellectual principles. Basically this category of principle it promotes or fosters liberalism. So जदि हमें article देखिबा, then 44, 45, 48, 48A, 49, 50 and 51 they are liberal intellectual principles. So then fundamental right of DPSP with the difference देखिबा, then fundamental right they are mentioned in the part 3, DPSPs are there in the part 4. Fundamental rights are justiciable, DPSPs are not justiciable. Fundamental rights they promote political democracy, whereas DPSPs they promote social and economic democracy. Fundamental rights are legally enforceable, it means we can directly move to Supreme Court or High Court by using Article 32 and 226. And DPSPs they are morally enforceable. Then fundamental rights they are automatically enforced, but DPSPs are not automatically enforced. Fundamental rights of violation ପାଇଁ writ issue करा जाय परिबो Article 32 বা 226 यूज करी, but DPSP केस रे writ issue करा जाय परिबो नाही. So this is all about DPSP's directive principle of the state policy. So Unacademy Plus रे I will cover the entire syllabus of Indian Polity and Constitution for OPSC examination. Join to Unacademy Plus. Use the referral code EGOS to get 10% off of your subscription amount. Recently we considered कि सामर्थ्य and समीक्षा batch OS exam and ASO exam पाइन ये both for ASO and OS exam these batches has been published by Unacademy. ये batch वर्तमान launch ही सारी तो ये batch join करंतु and prepare for the exam you are dream for. Thank you everyone. See you in the next session.